Hello, hello, and welcome to Final Fantasy VI July. I am Goku Black. I am joined here by Fit. How you doing, Fit?
I am doing fantastic. I'm excited to watch and call some racing action from our showcasing one of our flag sets for the upcoming Battlegrounds event. And I haven't seen this one. I haven't really looked at any of them, so I'll be looking at it with fresh eyes. Hope to pick up some tips.
Yeah, for sure. And this one is the Empire West flag set. We are not gonna find Illuminas except for the except for that one objective. Why don't we talk about it?
Yeah, so we have the Injured Lad quest. In the world of Balance Mobliz, there is an injured lad and they need help. We gotta do some various errands for them, go into a shop to pass the time, so to speak. And at the end of it all, they'll be rewarded with the biggest ol' sword. In the game, and that'll be the only way to get that big old sword.
Yeah, can't get it in Coliseum, can't get it from chests, can't get it from shops, etc. There is the KT skip unlocks with 13 espers, so if they want to skip, they're going to have to get an additional 3 espers to the 10 that is required to unlock Lanokifka. Magic upgrade comes with the Magitech Factory finish. So we start with 2 characters. We normally start with 3, but now we're starting with 2.
Yeah, I know some of the old hat racers will say well, we used to start with 2, and the 7 character 10 Esper unlock, I believe, is from an older era before my time.
Back in my day.
Yeah.
This
exactly.
is pre 1.0 stuff here.
And the lead that we're burying about this flag set is there's no black magic. So we have no offensive magic other than summoning espers that have attack magic. So we're going to see commands, we're going to see hitting stuff, other clever things. So I'll be excited to check that out. And don't call us old. I mean, just embrace it. Everyone gets older eventually. Seasoned, aged, like a fine wine.
Veterans, I prefer, is the term. Seasoned veterans.
Scarred. But yeah, so that's going to be a big one. There's no Super Balls, so we won't have an easy way to break open the seed early. I think that rods are still available. Are those expensive or regular priced rods, if they are?
They're expensive rods.
Okay.
So there's no Super Balls, but we have expensive rods. However, the shops are 50 to 100% of vanilla. So the shops will be cheaper than normal, but you can't find Illuminas or Super Balls in them.
Indeed. And with that 40% random chest, I expect,
and
a little bit of surprises.
We start with a normal amount of GP, which is 5,000, and 80% to 125% stats. The enemy level HP MP scaling is characters Esper's Dragons times 2.5, which is a little higher than normal if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2.5 is a little higher than kind of the stock Ultros League flags. And a subtle thing I noticed as our racers get started here is the experience gold scaling is only 2 times. So I noticed in the one Battlegrounds that I played with similar scaling that I had to really try to get levels. It wasn't like going into the tower at 40, it was like, ooh.
We start with sorry to cut you off, but we start with Edgar and Cyan. So that's pretty good characters. They have pretty good checks. So Edgar is good for the discount in the World of Ruin, while and also being a good jumper. And Cyan has amazing checks. Why don't we talk a little bit about his checks?
Yeah, he's got the Doma Castle World of Balance check. It is very fast. You just walk in, fight the boss, and we get a story heal after it, which is always nice. The Doma Dream in the World of Ruin, that one features 3 progression for only 2 boss fights. And no, not in this setting. Never mind. Sometimes it unlocks sword tech, but I don't think that's on in this one.
Yeah, the only objective is the Magitech upgrade. Ragnarok in a pot. That'll be nice. Definitely an Edgar thing.
Really cheap earrings and Alice armlets and boots in South Figaro, World of Ruin.
And then Cyan has the World of Ruin Mount Zozo check, which you could do right off the gates. You can just head right over there. It doesn't require you to fight any bosses, and it just you have to pay 1,000 GP, and that's it.
I saw Cyan as natural jump as their command. On a sketch, natural magic, Edgar. Probably gonna be hitting stuff with that Ragnarok mostly. Speaking of Edgar, they do have a free check in the Figaro Castle because we have the no free progression flag on. That will just give us a high tier item. The Mount Zozo check is not free because you have to have 1,000 gold to get the WD-40, but I will admit that I've gone in there and not had enough gold and had to leave and come back later. So
hey, we've all been there. We've all been there. Okay, I did that the other day. So I actually, what I did is that I did a fight instead. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, that's what you should do, is take off the Moogle charm.
Yeah,
get a fight, get some cash. Getting a Thunder Shield here in Returners. Almost the sync between Keith and Obi, too. That's pretty fun.
Just do a fight, and you don't need to do anything else. You can just do a fight, and then get your money, and then do it. That's the better choice.
Yeah, and so we've seen our runners here hit up pretty much all of the popular early loot spots. I think Obi skipped Narsh initially. Did they go back later in their circle, or have they not gone there yet?
I don't think they have yet.
But other than that, Returners is another good one. We saw South Figaro for that half price shopping. Keith is gonna go probably get that high tier item here.
Probably looking for some damage, so they're going to be going here for the high tier item.
Nice.
Flame Shield's actually really good protection.
So one of the interesting things that I've noticed when playing with the 2 character start, and maybe you guys can jump in and give your insight as well, having played some of these flag sets, is normally what I do is I loot until I find enough stuff for my team to do. With 2 characters instead of 3, I find that I get enough stuff for my team to do quicker because I only have to figure out 2 builds instead of 3, right? Are you guys finding that the same when you run your practices?
I would say so too.
I say yes and no because sometimes you have lots of different options, and for me specifically, it's okay. What build do I use for this character? And then sometimes it's just most of my practices, I don't find anything. So
Drinks Blue found Ragnarok for sale in the South Figaro World of Balance shop. So
Of course, it had to be in the world of balance.
yeah, not half price, but it was only like 36.
It's still pretty cheap, though. Yeah.
thousand, so that's the shop prices are kind of generous. I did see a pull of that there was something good in the crates, digging in the crates on key screen as
Just
well. Oh, a hero
is this-
ring is what I saw
Oh, it
in
looks
the,
like
in the bucket.
looks like Obi's going for the great fight here.
Yeah, there are the soldiers that we are. Oh, another Ragnaroks everywhere. Yeah,
Well, if we
can
can't
fight the
have
soldiers.
Illuminas, we might as well have tons of Ragnaroks, right?
Although we only have one swinger of Ragnaroks and no Genji gloves yet, so they're not really adding to the power.
We aren't.
Oh,
taking
get out!
away. Oh, we don't like this. Just no.
This is gonna
please
be
no.
tough.
More
Yeah,
annoying than tough.
At level 3, tentacles is nearly impossible, especially
With
with only 2 characters, because they like to the grabby noodles. They like to grab and hold on to you and basically deplete your HP. And the HP that they deplete you at is a static like 50 to 60. So at low levels, that makes this fight basically impossible to win. So this would be an instant reset, and there we see it. Yep, that's unfortunate. But now at least we know, hey, there's a pretty easy boss at Dome of Siege to come back for later.
And potentially, it's a popular opening check, so we might. Oh, there's ice rods for sale in South Figaro too.
Yeah, we're gonna get some fights here on the outside.
This one's not bad.
Yeah, I don't mind this, because if you actually go into the check, if you do all the fights and you still can't beat the boss, then you lose all that leveling that you did, right? Because unlike in the vanilla game, if you do a reset, you don't save all the levels that you had. You go back to the levels that you were at whatever the save point was. So I like going outside and doing it in this case here.
Yeah.
Level 5. That's not gonna be enough. I feel like we want like 7 or 8 if we're gonna try to chop the noodles down, especially with a physical-based offense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Edgar having sketch doesn't really help, right? In that particular
this is a
fight.
terrible grind fight.
Jump is nice in this flag set because, I think one of you mentioned there's no black magic, right? So we're going to have to get our offense from physical builds and commands, basically. Because even though we did get a flame shield on the throne and a thunder shield in returners, they will not teach us tier 2 spells. So we might see more shields getting cracked than normal, but yeah, they're not going to teach us any spells this time around.
Yep.
Going to Thamasa here for some more looting. I mean, loot early is always potentially more impactful, right? Than looting at the end.
I think Goku mentioned that the chests are 40% random, which is higher than what it normally is. So what that usually means is you're going to find more good stuff in chests, and the shops are only 10% random. So more good stuff in chests, less good stuff in shops, although Drinks Glue finding the Ragnaroks proving that not to be the case. But I think that's the only real thing we found, right, so far in shops.
Yeah,
I think we saw an enhancer maybe somewhere too, but that's about it.
At one weapon shop with the Ragnarok and ice rods is VK knife. Never mind. No one can use it. Write it down. Come back later.
Yeah. So with these, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, unfortunate that no one can use the VK at the moment.
Yeah, so with these characters, we do have access to 2 Monster in a Box chests with Edgar in the Ancient Castle, as well as the Classroom one. So do you think that makes, Drinks Glue say, well, let's go do Edgar's checks first, because I know where a Valiant Knife is, and I kind of want an offering to go with it.
Yeah, it's always tempting.
I would think, okay, we don't have someone particularly who can use it right now, but I mean, if you're, doing checks anyway, I would think you would still check the Monster in a Box, just in case you get the Katana Soul. Right?
Yeah, it's always a question of can I beat Katana Soul also.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we didn't start with tools, because we did get all 8 tools to start, and the Noise Blaster makes that fight trivial, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
don't have a source of muddle. We could crack a shield on them, and that would I don't know. They might have low magic characters right now too, but there are ways, but they wouldn't be pretty right now. I feel like so.
Yeah, you mentioned there was ice rods for sale somewhere. That would be something to stock up on and use for that fight.
Yeah, it looks like Obi is going straight into the world of ruin Edgar checks.
Which looks like not a character. Probably an Esper.
Yeah, so we know that our character is not at Doma Siege or at the first part of this this Edgar loop, as we like to call it. The spots that are left are Mount Zozo, Dream 2, and Kefka at Narsh, if it's not an ancient castle either. So
I feel like it's always at Kefka at Narsh when starting with 2 characters.
Speaking of which, I did a seed recently, and I did all of the character checks, and I had 3 characters, and it was the last character was at the character that I needed for progression was at Kefka Nurse.
yeah, that unfortunately happens sometimes, right? Because that is the only check that is uncharacter gated, which can have a character. Most of the rest of the ones, it's either Esper item, like, Tri-Top Cliff, etc., etc. And Keith dipping into the Coliseum here. Let's see what he pulls out.
It's spicy play, and I love it.
Yeah,
we have a Ragnarok, right? That's pretty good offense for what we want. We'll see if we can turn trash into treasure.
We haven't learned magic, so Super Ball. The only one that is available.
So you could trade a chainsaw for a Super Ball, and you could trade something else for a chainsaw. So we could potentially have a a nice little Coliseum run here to come out with lots of Super Balls.
Edgar did learn a magic spell.
What is it, Warp?
Shell.
Ugh.
And Mist. Okay. We got a Vargas that's clogging up the engine of South Figaro. Or not South Figaro, Figaro Castle. This fight might take a second, but I think they should be able to handle it pretty nicely.
Yeah, because the other good thing about starting with only 2 characters is the bosses are only going to be, level 5 here, right? Versus normally we're used to, 6 to 8 with 3 characters.
Mm-hmm.
So
now those bears at end game levels, they can hit and need to be taken down pretty quickly. I've had a party member or 2 go down to a claw from one of those bears.
Yeah, when they start hitting in the 4 digits, that's when you know that you've got scaling up pretty high.
Who did we get? Was that a golem? An Odin. With Cure 2, that's something. I like this grind fight over on Quayside. Are these all undead or just the Tomb Thumb?
Oh, I didn't realize any of them were undead, so...
I thought that the Tomb Thumb was... But that's maybe just a guess because it's got Tomb in its name. Jumping with the Tempest.
Honestly, jumping with a Tempest isn't the best, but it's also not the worst either. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah, they don't look... They're not undead to me, at least according to this little tracker sheet I have here. So...
Yeah, I think I maybe just always... This one might be one of those, because it's got Tomb in its name, that I always drop a Revivify on it, and then it heals it, and I'm like, oh. Well, okay.
Yeah, if worst comes to worst, you're healing the enemy for like a little bit, So it looks like Obi's going to do our quest here for his Illumina.
Yep, so we're gonna see some errands. Talk to the
Yeah,
guy.
so to do this quest, you got to talk to the guy first, blah, blah, blah. Then you got to go pick up the letter, and it'll automatically read it to him. Then you go send the letter, and then you have to go to the relic shop, and then you have to come back here. And one of the most annoying things is there's an NPC that blocks the door directly in front of you after you go to the relic shop, and it's just like, guy, what are you doing? Why are you making this harder than it needs to be?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so about 90 seconds later, we'll see what we get from... you do get just some random regular item from the injured lad. It is the
because
Tintinabar
Obi
in
found
vanilla.
a Genji glove, and so
That makes
they're
sense.
looking
Yeah,
to
get out of the way,
unlock
guy.
Edgar's full fury.
Yep, so yeah, you grab the letter, you talk to this guy again, and then you go send the record, and you do this, I think, 3 more times, and then you'll get the item. So it takes about 90 seconds, and it's usually a few thousand GP to do it, but it's definitely worth it, I think, for an Illumina in this case.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially where we don't have any black magic. Take every big sword we can get. All right, let's see how much this tonic money, how much a tonic costs these days. I mean, you could get 2 remedies for that tonic money.
Yeah. That tonic better taste good, Mom. And then here's the guy in front of the door. Yep, get out of the way, dude.
We're trying to help an injured lad here.
All right. Well, while we're watching back and forth shenanigans, Keith and Drinks Glue are going to actually go do some checks here. So, Drinks Glue,
learn
yeah, he's gonna not be happy with the boss here. So, do you think Keith's going to do the dragon here? What do you think, Goku?
Considering what we've got so far, and the levels and stuff, and the stuff that we're missing at the moment. I mean, we don't really have that high damage. We got a Ragnarok, and it's like close to all we have. I don't see a possibility where we don't take the dragon, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not really a lot of spells we can learn, and there's no letter on the table, so then you go talk to this guy, and that's the end. Hey, a Thunder Rod's actually not that bad of a prize for that.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, I don't see a realm where we don't fight the dragon.
This one is fine. I mean, with those elemental shields, that would protect from a lot of the dragon's shenanigans. White Dragon would have probably been a reset. And we're going, that's what the earrings are for. I would think about just cracking one of my shields here, because it's not teaching me anything, and I don't need burden protection, right? Like, those habits I think are going to be hard on some of these flag sets to, like, acknowledge and go against. Because normally early we would want to hold on to those shields to learn spells, but it's like, nah. But you could just also flare proc it up a bunch and crack pow.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
Obi gonna see what's in the Coliseum. So 80 to 100 items out of the 255 are visible on the screen. We'll see what kind of rewards he's looking at. Again, we got those super balls, and it's a sleeping bag for a chainsaw and a fake mustache for a chainsaw. So we can just run a Super Ball train here. It'll be quite annoying, and that's one of those like Coliseum fallacies that we tend to run into sometimes. We're like, oh, there's so much good stuff in here, that you just spend way too long on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely feel that.
Well, we're seeing Skull Dragon again. Drinks has got some rods cracking them. One thing I remember, the Coliseum had scaling up to 50 a lot of the times and 2.5. And one thing I learned was like really thinking about if I wanted to take a dragon or not. Because getting that scaling too high does start to lead to potentially nasty like KT boss fights. If we get up in that like 46, 48, 50.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, Dragonhorn
that's
was the
huge.
reward. I missed that when Keith did it, but that's really nice for Cyan. So our max scale level is 50, right? And we need 7 characters and 10 espers to unlock Kefka. So we need to get at a bare minimum of 17 times 2, which is 34. And then half of 17 is what? 8, right? 9. So that's level like 43, 42.
Yeah. So it doesn't take much more over that to hit the cap and
yeah. So if you do 2 extra dragons, then you're at 50 instead of 42. And it might not sound like much of a difference, but it certainly does feel.
When you
like
fight Poltergeist and KT and they're 50.
Well, your parties are also split up too. Remember,
Yeah.
right? So you're not going in with your optimal setting.
Obi just showed me some Doma Castle chests that I didn't know existed.
There are 2 upstairs, and there's one in the upper right corner. The one in the upper right corner, make sure you get it before you do the check or at the very end of the check. Because if you do it in the middle, then you got to watch that cutscene, which, obviously takes some time. Keith going to get his Illumina here as well. And our character either has to be at Dream 2, Ancient Castle, or Kefka at Narsh. So chat, help us out with a prediction. Who's our next character and where do you think it's going to go? Where it's going to be? Goku, what do you think?
I wouldn't mind seeing it at Dream. Dream is a pretty good spot. You can get some pretty good stuff out of it. Obviously, I think it's one of the better checks here.
I'm looking for a Yeti in Ancient Castle.
I never want to see.
I guess I'll be contrarian. I'll do Mog at Kefka at Narsh, because while that's terrible, it's not as terrible as it used to be, right?
I got a seed like that earlier.
Yeah, because now at least you get transported to Arvin's house after not Arvind, Arvis, not the CEO of IBM. Arvis's house when you're done, basically. So it's not nearly as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
We got my favorite punk band of Final Fantasy VI, Rizopus and the Piranhas here. So this is basically a free fight.
Yeah. Just swing away. Even your back road, like, mithril rod wielding characters can usually take a piranha down in a hit. This was a fight that I used to accidentally weight trick out of habit on. And then I realized that I was just making it take longer.
Alright, so did we see this boss yet? Oh, yes, we did.
But we don't. Yeah, we did not see Ancient Castle after.
Yeah, that's very odd. I didn't even realize that Obi had short-circuited out of the set of checks. Because normally when you do this check, you almost always do Ancient Castle, because you're never really going to get any closer to Ancient Castle than after you're finished with this check.
Tritok. Mute, Berserk. Nice. Some good tools. Stop as well.
One of the interesting things about this flag set is without any attack magic that we learn, we could actually use Esper summons to do attacks. And Tritok, believe it or not, is probably one of the more powerful Esper summons. The issue is that if the boss absorbs one of 3 elements, it's going to absorb the attack, which is kind of bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad, we also saw Strago.
Not as bad as you would think, though.
Nah, it's fine.
I mean, I've seen some pretty good Stragos.
Yeah, well, let's hope that Strago has a good ability, right? Because again, he's not going to be able to just be relegated to a magic caster like he
Oh,
usually
yeah.
is for most parties, right? Strago's vigor is usually not that high, so
Maybe he's got lore.
that would be pretty clutch.
That would be like lore, Magitech, shock. There's some good ones. We got some strong commands in the
Throw.
pool.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see a thrower in this type of seed. I mean, I generally just get super excited about throw characters anyway, but especially in this situation. More noodle action on key screen.
Yeah, let's hope that Keith can eat his Italian for dinner tonight here. Oh god, we have a Dragonhorn Tempest build?
Okay.
Jeez.
These
Okay,
are
now.
gonna get sliced and diced pretty good, I feel like.
This is
Wow.
yeah, this is
I don't think I've ever done this.
Where is Cyan? Where'd it go?
Because they're death countering.
I have no idea where did he go?
No, his
not
sprite
done
is
yet.
invisible.
Oh wait.
Where did he go?
He's grabbed by the top left pasta.
Out of the air?
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, we got
I don't
Katana
either.
Soul and Ancient Castle, it looks like.
Ooh, very
Vanilla
spicy.
spot.
Oh, we could use Sketch here. So, if you cast Sketch on Katana Soul, it will use Slayer Edge, which will allow you to instant kill Katana Soul. It's a little bit of a weird heads
Does
up.
it always
play here.
work though? Or is it like a percentage thing?
Sketch has a chance to cast just a regular attack, but if you use Slayer Edge, it will work every time.
That's why I was like, what? Because I have tried that before in desperation and just got the regular hit over
Yeah.
and over and over again. But
Well, unfortunately, Cyan is not going to learn any,
Steven.
or is not going to get any XP from this fight, because I don't think Keith could pick him back up, because he was straight up, he straight up disappeared. So
So
that was
Katana
bad.
Soul has image now because they powered up, right? I think Edgar is pretty. Oh no, I thought
Oh, there it is. Here comes the Sketch. Come on now.
Regs.
Oh.
Just a Reggie attack there.
Obi finding the Stooges
Oh,
at
Ray
their
too.
French vanilla spot.
missed.
So French vanilla for the Stooges, and unfortunately he used Super Balls, and this is not the fight to use the Super Balls on, because you can't target who you want with Super Balls, and with this fight you want to kill Curly first.
Drinks had the nope out of that one. Katana Soul has ruined my day a few times, and so I am very aggressive about them, and it's definitely one of those that I'm just like, if I'm gonna take it, then like nice sniper sighting. Then I'm cracking a shield on this fool, or like doing whatever I can. That thunder shield should help with the
Ooh.
acid rain, I think. That's
I don't know
No.
if you saw that,
No.
Goku and Fitz, but Magitech Strago.
oh,
Ooh,
it's not
Celeste, where are
upgraded,
you?
right?
Celeste,
Yeah,
where
no.
are you?
Well,
Where
we're
are
looking
you,
for
Celeste?
our opera star.
I'm a general, not an opera floozy.
Where are you? Where are you, Celeste? We need you.
Why not both? Like Celeste has got to stop thinking in binaries that aren't true. You can be a Magitech general and an opera star. Why not both?
All right, so Obi picking up his Strago and a shiny rock on the throne. So that was 2 Espers, 1 character there at the Dream. So that's, I know you said it before, Goku, one of the better checks in the game here, Cyan's Dream.
Yeah.
Now, I know Fitz loves the Burning House, but do our runners love the Burning House?
I love it, and with no free progression, it has a even smaller chance of being, dead and very irritating. That's when I don't love it. But also, like, coming out of Dream, we got 3 progression for two boss fights. And the piranhas are not a very high experience boss either. So I do love this
Yeah.
place, but I also like going here in this specific scenario because it's like we might be at or a little behind in scaling and we want to catch up. Let's go fight some stuff.
Yeah. Ritual Pass is not a hard boss, though. I mean, it's like more of an annoyance than difficult, which makes the first boss kind of a joke.
It is a bathroom break, not a boss.
I think Obi is. No, they knew the VK knife was there and they went and checked and still can't use it.
Yeah. Well, Glue does have his offering for when he eventually gets his Valiant Knife. That is an Esper there at the Ancient Castle.
Okay.
And
So
not
who
going to take the
else-
dragon.
So who here wants another character to be behind?
Well, we're not going to get a lot of levels if we're fighting one
Not
lead.
Burning House. Not Burning House. Who wants it to be behind Fanatic's Tower?
Oh, God.
Was, as Tornado
I played-
Keith in chat pointed out, with Berserk, it's at least a lot more manageable.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I had to play one seed of this where I was gated at Fanatic's Tower, and thank God I had Berserk. Otherwise, I would have been stuck doing God knows what to try and kill the thing at the top.
We also got aloe bears in the Burning House, so that's no experience but free tiger fangs.
This is a disgusting burning house.
It is disgusting.
Should we just
like-
let it burn down?
If Obi went there for levels, like, this is what, yeah. These are the times, this is what drives people away from the warmth of the Burning House, as everyone remembers when it's terrible, but we always forget when it was amazing. Which is sometimes.
It's like, what's that? Cologne
It's
and
all
Anchorman
double
60% of the
gigantos.
time.
And you
Works
you
every
just
time.
X-zone all of them. And you come out 30 levels ahead of where you started.
One of those
Yeah.
things, you know?
Well,
They
the
will,
good news is
they're getting magic points to learn things like Berserk and Mute. And they're going to come out with
easy MP.
a lot of money. Because Tiger Fangs, well, with the shop prices, they might sell for less, but they're probably still like 10k.
Oh no, Keith going for the cutscene here.
Oh,
So remember I said open this chest either before you do the check or afterwards, because this is what happens when you do it in the middle. I loveth you.
Drago, Lovis, us.
Yeah, we bag
And
on
we-
Strago, but
we
he
don't
always still
return
loves
it.
us anyway.
Yeah, I've
he's
never
just-
seen this cutscene in the Worlds Collide, so why not, right?
Keith is not happy about how long that cutscene. It's way too long.
And I would normally say that that chest has probably got an Illumina in it, but it can't.
No,
So, therefore,
it's probably
don't
going
open
to have
any
another
chests, right?
Ragnarok based on what we've done so far.
I mean, we want probably 3 of them. So, I wonder if Cyan can use any good spears. They can use a lot of swords, which are decent for jumping.
Yeah.
Spears
mean,
are
if we-
obviously the top choice for jumping, though.
Yeah. If we do run into Doom, we know we can get a Sky Render, which is the best, sword type of weapon that Cyan, I think, can use.
We have Invisible Cyan again.
Oh, no.
Oh no, Delta hit.
Like, what is causing that to happen?
I have no idea. We're going to have to...
I'm gonna guess it has something to do with the way that, like, Tempest procs and multiple jumps interact
jump screws everything up.
in a weird way. Oh, we're seeing some Kefka and Narsh.
So another thing to point out, we did see Sabin at the hidey hole behind Umaro. So Fitz, if we do find a Yeti at some point soon, we know where another character is at least.
Which is nice because we need 7. And we had a snail at the end of the burning house.
Love to see that.
Well, I don't necessarily love to see that. Yeah, we're petrified.
No, how do they see him though?
John Cena getting stoned there.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
We got Edgar in an honorable duel here with a karate master. I think
and
swords
this is
are
a
gonna
ghost
be
sprite,
picked.
right?
I don't think I peeked it, so yes.
I'm pretty sure this is a ghost sprite. Obi picking up another Esper. That one had life 2 on it, so that's really nice. One of the more powerful spells in this seed. So he's got 4 Espers and 3 characters. So currently our leading person here. Did Keith nope out of Dream altogether?
They might not have stayed after the first boss, which is another thing that I do and regret.
That is, yep, that's what happened. So we're going to put him down to 2 Magicite.
Especially after an easy boss. I feel like sometimes that's the seed trying to trick us. Oh, we're going back to the Coliseum too.
Yeah, nothing in there.
See if we hit on anything negative. Yeah, I think we're gonna see some behavior.
Oh my god.
Under the Ultros League. Was it dead?
Red Cap, Kefka, and Arsh. Let's go.
And there's 2 of those in the world?
4 in total.
4, okay.
Yep.
So we've seen 1.
Red cap on Kefka.
Let me get
That's
my tally
awful.
here.
Oh yeah, most definitely awful. I mean, VK user, but it's not. You know, if you got a VK user, it's good. But I'm like, it's like
I'll give
not
it
what you want to see.
It's one of the better helmets, but helmets are terrible.
Yeah.
So.
I would give it a
Yeah.
C- grade for dead check rewards.
Alright, so lads, I think I have calculated all of the possibilities of this seed, and Strago is our first character at Dream 2. And then our next character either has to be at Ebbett's Rock or Fanatic's Tower, based on what we've seen so far. So that's another issue sometimes with these 2 character starts, is you get rather linear seeds, but
Is anyone else voting for Fanatic's Tower?
I mean, we could peek it, so I would assume that our runners would go there before Ebbett's Rock, but
Potentially. Now that Ebbett's Rock is slightly less bad, I've been going there more often.
yeah. Well, and it's also close to the Burning House if you do it in the World of Ruin, right? So it makes sense.
And I do like to chain those together sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm hoping for Fanatics.
Dueling Piranhas.
I'm hoping for a Rouge Fanatics Tower. Having everything.
I mean, we've got Berserk, so realistically, there's not much there that would be super duper rude. Like, even if it's a vanilla Magimaster, yeah, Tritalk would be horrible. Okay.
But they have Flame Shield,
I retract
so
my previous statement.
that would be a crack that thing.
But if you don't kill it in one hit, then what do you do?
Hope Flare procs happen was the next offense. Well, no. If someone has no Magitech, you can't use. Never mind.
Yeah. You run out of and we
Yeah,
don't
that's
have,
it.
we don't have Ifrit, we don't have Madawin, right? We don't have what's the other
No
one? It's
defense piercing
Bahamut.
abilities.
We can't use abilities anyway. It's just magic and only magic. Yeah, we'd have to berserk our characters and hope we get lucky. It's disgusting. I don't want to think about it. Why do we do this flag
Flame
set?
Saber, I know.
Yeah, that'd be super rude, but also I would love to see it.
I mean, I rolled a seed, and I have
You
high
did mention.
curse level, and Drinks Glue told me to do it, so they'll have to take it up with them, and I don't apologize.
You don't apologize.
No, I roll seeds for myself all the time. Who experiences my curse more than me? Like, no one. I have to live with it, you know, so.
All
I
right,
feel like
Obi jumping out to the lead here with 3 and 5, so he's our first runner to 5 espers and to 3 characters. But as we mentioned,
Now
we're
they have
down
the
to
choice.
just 2 checks.
okay.
And we don't have YMPC remove, right? So we can't sequence break somewhere else.
Surprisingly, we are not seeing a peak on the Fanatics Tower.
I would not want to do Fanatics Tower with no attack magic.
But at least peak it, right?
Tricked.
Yep, Jubated.
Only the back half of Abbott's Rock is better, right? Like, it's still 1 coral, 2 coral, or my favorite, like bouncing between the save room and the chest room.
Yep.
And yep.
I just hope my Abbott's Rock is, can you count by 1 up to 22?
Well, I feel like because once you get enough coral, it quickly takes you to the chest, that I find myself still counting, but not as worried about it, right? Because it's kind of like, well, once I got it, it'll dump me there. But I'm sure that will burn me when it's like, I get dumped there at 20. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, Puna indicates in the chat, Puna the Bear, saying best jump shenanigans is fixed ice. Fixed ice is great with jump because you don't have to watch the animation, and you get the 1.5 times bonus even on the dice roll, which is a bit ridiculous. So it's really fun to do, and it also ignores defense. So if we fight Tritok at the top of Fanatic's Tower, then we could actually hurt him then.
Yeah, we have a tight race to get through Dream between Keith and Drinks. We got an
well, here's one nasty option off the table for Fanatic's Tower, Ifrit and Shiva.
Yeah, we're getting some procs. That's good. And we got the ice beams.
And the ice rods.
And the ice rods. Yeah, punchy. Because we are at 9 times 2.5. It's 18. What, like 23, 24 is what the enemy levels are at right now?
Yeah, and I think Obi's levels are only 18 or 19. But when you have the procs of Flare and you have the boss weakness in Ice Beam, it's not a problem.
Yeah, it looks like Keith is going to get through here.
Yeah, I wonder if he took off that Tempest.
Oh, it looks like we're getting a character. Gao? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so I love Gao.
I think we've seen, you know,
There
the
we
meats.
go.
So,
that Gao is coming in with that throw. Oh, so good.
We're going to go chain those.
There was definitely a shop that was shurikens and all 3 elemental schemes somewhere. I saw it. So I wonder if Obi saw it and is going to go there. But interestingly enough, you know, as you mentioned, dropping the party down to 3 members, right, Goku? So that we can do our belt check right away here.
Yep.
Does he have the meat, though? That's the question.
Meat was in Narsh.
Yeah.
Okay.
World of Balance Narsh, so if they went there, then that would be a yes.
Someone didn't go. I think Obi didn't go there in the opening. Because
But did they
I might be
go
misremembering. I know one of them didn't go at the beginning.
Obi? I don't think Obi went there at the very start. I don't. Did they?
Well,
Oh.
considering he's going to a shop here,
Yeah.
I think we have our answer.
Yeah, I think we have our answer here.
Where's the meats? Though?
There it is.
Hey, there we go. Wait a minute.
We don't need the meat? They got the meat?
Yeah, maybe he's just looking for
Throwables.
treasure.
Throwables.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Looking for throwables. Okay.
Yeah, I know everyone has their different methods. I will keep a loose piece of scratch paper and just furiously scribble stuff down. I've seen fancier, digital pieces of scratch paper.
Fitz has got that Worlds Collide notebook. One day when, he shows off to his grandkids, he'll
Like,
let
can you
everybody
read
know.
this? Because I
Oh,
can't.
did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Keith gave us a little peek at what's at the bottom of the tower.
We got
What
a
is
character.
it?
A Yeti?
It was a character.
I missed it.
It's Terra at the bottom of Fanatic's tower.
Mm.
So Keith is going to get his fourth character either way here, but we know where a fifth one is. And it'll be interesting if neither one of Gao's checks pans out, because then that means we're going to have to go back to Fanatic's tower. And there you go. Obi selling those Tiger Fangs. 60,000 GP he got for 4 of them. Pick up that Esper.
Yeah, that was the only... That Burning House did not deliver on... It gave progression. Oh, there we go. Boom. Pearl rods, too.
Do not
I
need
would
99
buy
shurikens.
all of those pearl rods. There we go. That's someone that's got that clever cat in him. I know Drinks Glue says that dog all the time, so I've been trying to
You gotta come up with a different patented
what the
phrase.
cat version is, yeah. But I do like that, especially having sold that, big stack of claws for money. Like, you see something like that, it's like, gotta grab it.
Especially a lot of the bad bosses, Doomgaze, Doom, all weak to Pearl, Chatternook, right? So
And breaking rods will get you through Fanatic's tower as well. Chatternook would be gross to see.
yeah, I mean, if it's Goddess at the top of Fanatic's tower, then those Pearl rods are not going to help. But
That's true.
all right, so Obi is our first runner with Gao, so we're going to see what's on the Veld here. And hopefully he doesn't jump with Cyan, because I've had it at times where I go to recruit my reward on the Veld, and my jumper comes down and scares my reward away.
Yeah,
Not what we want to see.
Gotta be careful with jump, rage, or Yetis.
Oh.
We got
Prince
dueling
Boo was
Ifrits.
having a little bit of problems with that fight.
Yeah, it's a bummer to see Edgar go down, because with anyone that we're using physical attacks, we want every level we can get out of them. But
yeah, that's what happens
sometimes-
when you have the Genji glove. It means that you're not holding a shield and you can get knocked on your butt.
I wonder if... Oh, there we go. Nice.
That's not a character.
Well, we need a lot of Espers, so I wouldn't... I'm still would be pleased to see an Esper here.
Yeah, but we're also looking for characters, so...
Ooh,
Yeah,
Bahamut.
with the way Worlds Collide, that's a great Esper pickup. With the way that Worlds Collide works, being the checks that are open to you are behind the characters you have. The more characters you get, the more of the game is open to you, which can be a good or a bad thing, right? If you have too many options, then that's bad. But if you don't have enough options, you're forced to take ones you might not like.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's how the game works.
What are we gonna do now? I would do the trench. Yeah. picking up free progression with 2.5 scaling isn't. He's at level 21. They're at level 21 right now. Enemies are at higher than that now. 26, 27. I would not want to fight a boss and get a bad one, being like 5 or 6 levels behind. Plus, this is
No, the boss
feeling a
levels
character
the
here.
boss levels are almost 30 now, right?
Yeah,
oh, no,
that's bad.
I mathed wrong. Sorry. No, I didn't actually. It's 22 or 12 times 2, 24, and half of 12 is 6, so 24 plus 6 is 30. I can math, I swear.
Yeah. The math is mathing right now.
All right, so both Drinks Glue and Keith getting their Gao. Keith, I think, is going into the burning house here. So he's going to get an Esper in a few minutes. And we'll see what Glue wants to do. Question from Tornado Keith for you guys. I will answer first. With Valiant Knife for sale, would you spend the money for Genji Glove offering or be happy with one and a shield? The only problem with Genji Glove offering 2 Valiant Knights is how long the animation takes. It takes a very long time for 8 hits to come out, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it is often overkill.
Yeah, exactly. There's you don't stop attacking when the thing is dead, even if you kill it in 4 or 5 hits.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't found a character that can use it yet, and everyone has
I
2
think Gao can.
Ragnaroks. Oh well,
That doesn't count.
unless we want to dedicate like someone to just berserking Gao every fight, right? Which is not
You could do that.
wild necessarily, but having like 2 Ragnaroks and an Illumina, and someone knows Terra's out there, so she can definitely use one of those big swords.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, second part of Serpent Trench here, and it looks like Obi is opting for the 1 fight and 1 treasure route instead of the 2 fights route. This takes slightly longer, but as you mentioned before, Fitz, if you're behind in levels, this is a good way to catch up taking these fights.
Yeah, especially being wary of taking too many dragons. All right. Who's or what is going to be at the end of the trench?
Yeah, so if the trench is dead, then that means we got to go back and get Terra.
Fingers crossed for Trench being dead. Hey, I'm going for it, alright? I want to see it.
You also want to make this Elite River required seed, don't you?
I want to see.
You're evil.
Well, yeah,
yes,
for sure.
I do. I want to
Evil.
see Elite River required. Come
Evil.
on.
I'm a big
Evil.
fan of the river rafting.
We were just in a trench. What's the difference?
One doesn't require a single diving helmet.
Ah, it's Terra! It's Terra! It's
Oh.
Terra!
Oh,
Fnax
God.
Tower required! Let's go!
All right, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that could roll a Fanatics Tower required seed in an option that doesn't have any attack magic. All right, so let's see what Obi does. Right? Let's see how he decides to tackle this Fanatics Tower without offensive magic. Probably want to get Bahamut on and maybe Tritok on. Yeah.
Tritok, Zerking, rods.
Well, he picked up 3 Pearl Rods. I don't know if he picked up any Ice Rods. I know Drinks Glue has a bunch of them. And hey, I guess we might have to go back to the Coliseum for those Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, Obi didn't go down to Ancient Castle yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's an Esper down there.
That is,
We
yes.
all know that Fanatic's tower is required.
Yeah. Well, we've been able to stitch it together because all of the runners have showed us everything, right?
Yeah,
We have
'cause I
I'm
don't
an
think.
actually-
omniscient position in the sky.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm actually
Um,
really happy that Fanatic. I know I'm evil, but
Right.
I'm evil, yes, but
And
I love.
This is why you're not allowed to do commentary ever again. You're like Jesse the Body Ventura, always rooting against the wrestlers, you know? Alright, so Obi is going to be disappointed. So is Keith, and so is Drinks Glue. And right now, the question is who is going to go to Fanatic's Tower and beat it first? So 55 minutes, almost 56 minutes into the seed, and we got to do arguably one of the worst checks in the game.
Mm-hmm. At a pretty high level, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think which one of our runners actually peeked it to see that it was a character?
I believe Obi did.
Okay. And I was going to say whoever peeked it, I would say is the most likely to go there first, but Obi did, and they went to go clear out Ancient Castle, hoping